What's up, guys? This is The Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite guns. We're going to be talking about the Glock 34 Gen 5 MOS. Now, before we get into it, I want to mention my patron supporters. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. Because of that, we're doing a monthly giveaway for guns and gear related items. This month's going to be the Peltor Range Guard, so if you want to be a part of that giveaway, all you got to do is be a patron. If you want to get in on the Instagram giveaway, all you got to do is follow me on Instagram, and that is for an Ontario Rat 3 knife. Also, there is a link in the description for ammo.com. They have a discount code going on for $20 off an order of $200 or more. So if you want to get on that, all you got to do is click the link. So what is the Glock 34 Gen 5? Well, it is the 5th generation of the Glock 34. It is a 9mm striker-fired polymer frame pistol with a 5.3-inch barrel. So kind of think Glock 17, same frame but longer barrel, longer sight radius. One of the best things about the Glock 34 is the weight ratio to sight radius and recoil control. It has a very long sight radius for most guns in this particular category, making it easier to control and easier to hit while still only weighing a featherweight 26 ounces. So it kind of flexes into a lot of positions that I would say a 1911 or a CZ Shadow would not. It can perform almost as well on the range while still being able to be carried while you're backpacking or maybe even concealed carry. This particular gun comes with all the Gen 5 upgrades, like the magwell, which I upgraded further. As you can see here, you can't even see it. I upgraded to the Dawson magwell. Now, the new Gen 5 MOS guns won't have this particular cutout, but because of the cutout, I didn't like that. You can kind of see it in there, and if you Google a picture of a Gen 5, you'll see what I'm talking about. The new ones, again, don't have that, but mine I got right when it released, so it does. So I covered it up with my Dawson magwell, which I really like anyway, because it kind of offsets the weight of the front of the gun, and it allows you to reload faster, making you look cooler, so that's always a plus. Not only does it have the magwell, but it also has the upgraded Gen 5 trigger, which I really like. Very crisp, very smooth, and the reset is very positive. Now, one of the downsides I see to the Gen 4s, not necessarily the Gen 3s, but the Gen 4s in particular, is if you try to shoot super fast, you'll find the reset doesn't pop out quite as strong as this one does. So in my personal opinion, I can shoot the Gen 5s and the Gen 3s faster than I can the Gen 4s. That's one particular reason why I bought a Gen 5. The marksman barrel is also included in the Gen 5s. As you can see, it looks like a standard Glock barrel. It kind of performs like one. Spoiler alert there. I really haven't seen a barrel, an aftermarket barrel for Glocks. I know they're super popular, and I know I definitely buy them too because they look pretty cool, but honestly, other than shooting lead bullets, there's not a lot a improved barrel is going to give you on a Glock. They guarantee 4-inch groups at 50 yards, and if you can shoot that offhand, be my guest, but for the average person or even a USPSA competitor or a super tactical guy, I don't think the marksman barrel is going to be a big help to you, but you have it, so it's included, and that's kind of nice. The ambi controls is another nice feature, especially if you're wrong-handed, like my wife. You can see there the ambi slide release. Now, the real feature to this gun, in my opinion, is going to be the MOS system. Now, is the MOS system perfect? No, it's not. But what it does do is it allows you to mount pretty much any red dot on the market today, any popular one for sure. Leopold Delta Point, the Vortex Viper. I personally have only tried the Trijicon RMR because I'm a bit of an optics snob, and the RMR is my favorite. So that's the one I tried, and it works well. It doesn't work perfect, however, because if you get a dedicated cut like what you'd see on most of my guns, it's going to be sit just a little bit lower, so you're not going to have to worry about the height of the dot over your sights. That's kind of nice. Also, the MOS system, not in my particular experience, but I've heard a lot of people have issues with the reliability of your zero on the MOS system. If you bang it or bump it because it has those adjustment plates, you could have some problems. A lot more problems than you would have with a dedicated cut that's meant solely to hold that particular optic. That may or may not happen to you depending on what you're going to be doing with the gun, but the MOS is a very nice option if you're not sure which optic you want and you want to try multiple ones, because if you get a gun cut for a Trijicon RMR, that's what you're stuck with. Now, before we get into that, I'm going to go into some of the accessories that I added to the Glock 34 because I can't own a Glock without accessorizing it. I'm like a woman with her purse or something. But I added the TLR7. Now, this isn't the optic that I would defend my home with. This is just something that I wanted to test also for the channel. I'm not done with it yet, so I haven't decided whether it's home defense worthy or not. And I love shooting the 34, so that's why it's sitting on there. But the TLR7 is a nice little tiny little optic that has a lot of power. The only thing I don't like about them is the switches. I also added some grip tape, which I had pretty much everything. It's either grip tape or stippling because I like to hold onto my gun as much as I can. I added some Ameriglow sights. I don't know if the 34 comes with the aftermarket Ameriglow sights, but I purchased mine for 50 bucks and threw them on there. They're totally worth it in my opinion. And obviously I added the magwell, and I added the magazine release, the extended magazine release. Now that if you don't use these and you're not used to them, this is something I would not recommend most novices buying and putting on there, because for a solely home defense gun, this is kind of a stupid idea, because you might get nervous, you might freak out, and you might hit it by accident, or when you're rolling into your grip, sometimes you can push the magazine. But the biggest thing that I've seen where you can accidentally eject the magazine is going to be if you're in a holster and you do like roll over prone, or you just roll on your side for any reason, that magazine button can push into your holster or into your side, and it can eject that mag. And when you pull out, the mag might still be in there a little bit. Just pull it out a little bit, kind of like that, and it's not enough for it to fall, but it's also not enough for it to feed, so you're gonna have some problems. The Glock 34 is amazing for competition. If you look at guys like Taryn Butler or Bob Vogel, they can make this thing really sting. They can really get a tune out of this guy. Many world championships have been won by this particular gun. Now that also, because of the lightweight, can flex into even a carry gun for tactical guys on the internet. And what I mean by that is you won't find as many people really carrying the Glock 34 as you will see instructors saying they do online. And the reason for that isn't because of the weight, because it is very lightweight. This is the same weight as I believe my PO7 is, which I carry all the time. The problem is going to be the barrel length, right? Now, you definitely wouldn't want to carry it with this giant magwell because that would stick into your stomach. But the barrel length is going to get in the way of some things, especially if you carry appendix like a lot of people do, and it's going to get in the way of some things you don't want it to get in the way of. Now, aside from competition use and concealed carry use, my real recommendation is going to be for a home defense gun, because a lot more people use home defense guns than they do competition guns. Now, a competition gun would be good as well, but the reason why I really like the 34 is because obviously it mimics the controls and feel of probably the most popular carry guns in the world, which are going to be the Glock 19, Glock 17, and Glock 26. Or even Glock 43. So you're going to have the same controls, the same feel as those, and you're not going to have to learn a new battery of arms. You're not going to have to learn a new type of muscle memory for a different firearm. And you can just carry your Glock 19 or your Glock 26 all day, and you can pick up this guy, which is going to shoot faster and a little bit more accurate for home defense or competition without learning anything else. And they all use similar magazines. So now this isn't going to be able to use the 19 or 26 magazines, but the 19 or 26 is going to be able to use the 34 magazine. Now, as far as reliability goes, the Gen 5s are supposed to be the most reliable Glocks of all time. Again, a little bit of a marketing ploy there, but they are still excellent in the reliability category. I had zero malfunction of this gun, as I expected. I think I have over 1,000 rounds for this gun already, if not more, and that happens when I review guns that I really like, because not only do I review guns on the channel, but I really like shooting too, which is how I got into this. So if I find a gun that I can have an excuse to shoot a ton of rounds through, I do. Now, accuracy goes, I would say this is the most accurate Glock in 9mm, opposed to the 17L, of course, because the sight radius is longer. The longer the sight radius, the more likely you are to be accurate with it, because it's just easier to pick up a more precise sight picture. Now, that changes things in the era of red dots, right? Because you could have a Glock 19 with a red dot, and you could have a Glock 34 with a red dot, and they have the same sight picture because they're using the same red dot. Now, beyond sight radius, the other advantage of a 34 is going to be more velocity. You're going to get, what, I don't know, 50 to 100 feet more velocity. I didn't check. I'm just guessing there. So it's going to hit a little bit harder in that puny 9mm up close. Could use all the help it can get. Also, you're going to get a lot more recoil control. Now, it's going to have a little bit more weight up front, obviously, helping you hold that muzzle down. And along with my little gas pedal cut here, I can shoot this little Glock 34 awful fast. And 20 rounds of 9mm with the OEM extended base pads for a home defense gun that you can shoot with one-handed if you're carrying a kid or something like that is a great option for me. But even though it's meant for up close, you could still, with enough skill, easily shoot out to 100 yards with no problem with a 34. You can even find people like Larry Vickers who can shoot Glocks much further than that, even 200 yards. So the accuracy of the platform is not a big deal. It's really a matter of how well you can pull that trigger. As far as ergonomics go, nothing's changed. Overall, what can I say? It's a Glock 34 with just a very minor couple of upgrades over the previous generations. It's certainly not painting a different picture. It's basically the same gun. Like I said, with a little bit of upgraded trigger. You're going to have the factory magwell. As long as you get one of the new ones, it's going to work fairly well. But again, if you're going to competition it up, you're going to shoot limited or something like that, you're still going to be putting a magwell on anyway, so it's not a huge deal. The ambi controls is a big deal if you're a left-handed type shooter, but you're still not going to have the ambi magazine release, so is that really a selling point? I'm not sure. The reason why there's so many accessories on all of my Glocks is because the Glock is the Lego set for adults. I don't mind doing a little extra work to get the most gun I can get out of it. I don't mind putting a couple extra parts to get the absolute perfect gun for me. So Glocks, for me at least, are a great gun. But if you're the type of guy that wants to get it right out of the box, maybe Glock is still not quite for you yet. However, the MOS Gen 5s, in my opinion, especially the ones without the cutout and the slide serrations, because you can get those now. And I think those are probably the best Glock to date. I know it's a Lego gun, but I love it. I do love Glocks. I shoot a lot of Glocks. I carry a Glock, so for me, the simplicity of having a carry gun and a home defense gun that had the same feel work for me. I like the fact that if I had to carry this gun out of here right now, and I had, you know, if it was the zombie apocalypse or something like that, I could still have that long sight radius without having to worry about batteries or reliability from a red dot, and I would have that fast shooting capability of the Glock while still maintaining the same ergonomics as the guns that I'm always used to. So for me, I think this is a phenomenal gun. If you're not a Glock guy, I understand, but you got to try one. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please stop by your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
Okay.
Same drill, 2 rounds on each target, stock Glock 34. 2.46.